From the very first time I met him, never once has he made me or anybody else feel inferior, never feel embarrassed to ask a question. Shows the character of the man. In short, apart from being world class, he's also very humble, very approachable, and an excellent man to hear speak. So with that, I'll move and let him speak and introduce to the stage the one, the only Mr. Jos Veers.
I seem to have no slides. Are there people? Okay.
Do some impression. This takes 10 minutes.
Okay. There are people. It's 10 minutes to warm up? No.
Yeah. Let's tell some. Oh, come on, we'll tell some jokes.
Oh, go on, man. I don't see nobody. Oh, we have a countdown. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's down.
-1. There we are. Hello, people in here.
Hello, Jos.
Hello. I'm Jos Veers. I'm going to talk about some physical security things and basically showing Peace in Public why that's a bad idea. I'm a member of TOOL, that's the open organization of lockpickers, and we open locks as a hobby, as a sport. And well, there's a lockpicking tent where you can try that out yourself, and there'll be lessons and introduction stuff and games and fun. And as a sports lockpicker, we have some rules. They're not hard rules, but we have, well, they are set, concrete, but they're not hard to remember. It's like, one, you do not pick locks that you don't own, or that you have explicit permission from the actual owner that you can pick them. And there's another rule that says, do not pick locks that you rely on, because you might fuck it up. And stuff might break, be left in your lock, and then it won't work. And then your front door doesn't open or close or let's go. So those are 3 important rules. So besides that, I'm also a member of the hackerspace in Arnhem. And that hackerspace is that awesome that they had to blur it on Google Earth. We'll start off with a little video. Show of hands. Who thinks this is a good idea? I don't see that many people, but that's because of the fog. Well, this service is offered by an insurance company, so at least if your house does get robbed, they have to pay for it. That kind of makes sense. I don't know where you guys live, but in my neighborhood it's easier to find a locksmith than a 3D printing outfit. But maybe that will change over time. But then again, the technical part. You saw they took a key, put it on a spinny thingy, and basically took some 3D image of it. That's kind of cool. And they kind of had to do that because it's a Belgium outfit, and Belgium is in Europe, and Europe is not in America, unlike the opinion of some Americans. But because in America you have basically two brands. You have Schlage, Quickset, and then it's expensive. So in a normal residential area you see two brands. So if you're in America, you'll have services like this. There you can just take a picture of your key, just put it on a white background, take a picture, mail it to an outfit, and for $5 they ship that key to your home. Well, personally I would use a different address for that. But technically, yeah, whatever. I mean, cool. You can have your key shipped to your house. A spare key. And they actually made some cool software for it. You see a scan of what they do. They look at the key, they figure out what the brand is, and they measure the depth. So they don't just copy your key, because you see at that first cut on the left, that cut is deeper, so that has some wear and tear. And probably the copy you get through the mail will work better than the key you had, because that will be cut to code, which is kind of cool. Maybe not from a security perspective, but I think that's kind of cool. It's neat software. And actually it's not that new, because these companies, they give you a copy of the keys, but other companies incorporated the key copying by picture in their business plan, actually how they do business. This is an outfit that's, I believe it's in Manhattan, and it's called Mailbox. What they do, they show up at your door physically and take your physical mail, your snail mail, and they take it away. And they scan it. So they make your physical mail digital and they mail it to you. They probably weed out the spam, I don't know. So you can reach your physical mail even when you're abroad. So they show up to your door and get your mail. And in order to do that, they need your key. So this same deal, just take a picture of your key. They have several different scenarios for it. Well, if your mailbox is out your gate without a lock, well, then just grab it. And if you have a locked mailbox, well, we need that key. If it's inside your gate, we need that key. If it's a door slot, we don't bother, you get a different box and we'll close that. And if it's a garage, it's that. But they will not go into your door, because that would, well, it's America, I mean, guns. So they probably don't want to get sued that easily. But there are companies that actually do this as a business. It's kind of cool. It's not really new, the concept of taking a picture and making a physical key from it. This is from a couple of years ago. Some students in America, they took a camera and a quite decent lens and they started snapping pictures. You see in the big picture, there's a terrace and there's a table. On that table is a book. On that book there's a couple of keys, and this is blown up with that lens. That's quite far. Of course it's staged, but it works. And if you know your locks, and if you know your American keys, then you instantly recognize this as Quickset. Because the peculiar shape of the head of the key, that's always the same on a Quickset. But if you know that's a Quickset, you know exactly how this head is supposed to look. So even if you take a picture of an angle, at an angle of that key, you can distort that key, that picture of that key, until it actually has the correct shape. And if that key, if that head has the correct shape, then the rest of the key also. That makes sense, right? So then you can just decode it, cut to code, and you have a working key. Which is kind of cool.
Always bend your keys.
Yeah, but then they won't work. So yeah. Showing keys. That works with other keys as well. This used to be, and well, kind of still is, the key to the German police cops, because they're key to life. which as a security point of view, you go, what, they key the light? Well, yeah, and they kind of must be, because if you get arrested in Germany, or anyone else for that matter, and that police officer cuffs you, takes you to the station, signs off, and gives you to another officer, it's kind of neat that he can open these locks also. That's kind of cool. So it's quite normal that for a regular police officer that every country has a key-alike system on their handcuffs. This picture was taken in the Netherlands at Har, I think.
Yeah.
And this is a 3D printed one, that's a copy of the original. And Ray, that's a fella from SSDEF, which is basically a tool in Germany. He knows his handcuffs. He has an extensive collection of them. And when he walked on that site, he saw police officers. And of course, he saw handcuffs of those police officers. He said, that's a lips. That looks exactly like the one we use in Germany. Could it be their key to life? So he went to that police officer and, good sir, can I try this key on your handcuffs? He said, solid. And he turned his back to him. He turned his back to him. Well, this is not the ultimate high-res picture of a key, but you can see it's high-low. You can see-ish what the combination is. I mean, maybe you cannot decode it from this picture, but you can compare it to that one. And that looks kind of alike. So afterwards, he approached the guy again, and then he was okay with trying it, and well, yeah, the key opened. So the handcuffs for the Dutch and the German handcuffs for the police are the same. So if you have this picture, which you can download from that URL, that's the file you dump in your 3D printer, and then it'll work. So it works. So showing your key, bending it around, because that's a handy place, you can grab it, but yeah, other pieces can grab pictures out of it and do interesting stuff with it. So it's cool. If you look at this typical clean desk environment, you see a lot of crap, but I see keys. And there's a tiny little coin besides those keys. And that's funny, because if you snap a picture of that coin with those keys and print it out on scale, and you know the scale because you know that coin. Well, see, that's the same size. So if you go totally kindergarten on that and start cutting quite neatly with some metal at the back, and cut the metal as well. It doesn't have to be brilliant metal, but yeah, just do that. With some luck, that'll fit in, and if it's shitty enough luck, that'll actually open it. So, leaving your keys about, no, not a good idea. Also, if you're a reporter and you manage to find a scoop saying you can buy a key to the subway system of New York, the master key, so it opens everything. So not just getting in for free, but technical cabinets as well, so you can shut stuff off. Which is, well, basically the story was, this shouldn't be the case. People are selling this like terrorism and God knows what, and this is the key. And just in case that picture is not high-res enough, they and they put it on a background with a known scale. So yeah, that should be ample to reproduce that key. And they keep on doing this. Another story, read in America, so they do media a lot. This is a gas pump key, so the key to the actual physical machine. Well, they key the light for a certain area or a certain brand. I'm not terribly sure about that. But the idea is, if you go to any machine that takes an ABN, and then you put your number in, well, you can skin that. At least you used to. So you can put extra readers on it and make some plastic moldy so it takes your card before it gets to the actual machine. But if you can get into that machine, you can put your crapware everywhere. I mean, you can put your evil hardware in the machine. It looks neat because it looks like the original machine, because it is. So let's take a look at this clip.
But bring an NBC
UC Bay Area investigative reporter Vicki Wynn. Vicki, seems unbelievable that one golden key, so to speak, unlocks so many pumps.
Well, we were surprised too, Raj. You could call it the key to the kingdom. It is a remnant from back in the day when all gas station pumps were made with the same lock to make it easier for inspections and maintenance. Now those keys are just providing easy access to a very lucrative crime using new high-tech technology, and in the end, we are all on the hook.
Hidden behind here, a new Bluetooth-enabled skimmer that can rip off your credit or debit information in seconds. This universal gas proceeds to install these new skimmers.
So I probably can decode this. And I know which blank to order. Because I need a wire 11 USA. And I can compare it if it's correct enough. Well, I spoke to a elevator mechanic, well, an elevator inspector, actually last month in New York, and he said, that's not the key to a gas pump. That key opens a shitload more. So I didn't know that, but he gave me a list and he promised not to tell me further, but it's way more impressive than just this. But yeah, I mean, there was a thing with voting machines at some point. Plot thickens. This is, if you're a fireman in a big city and there is a fire in a building, you kind of want to get into that building. And it's not that handy if you have all the keys to the city, because then you need an extra truck. So what they do, they don't key alike all buildings, because then everybody could just walk into their neighbor's buildings. So what they do, they take tiny little boxes, tiny vaults, let's put it on that, and the key to the building is in that vault, and the key to that vault is with the fire system. So the firemen have a couple of keys, not the whole set of the whole kingdom, but just a couple, and basically they become the keys to the kingdom. This is a ex-locksmith who used to make those keys, and well, when he retired, he thought, well, let's sell those. eBay, 150. Cool. So again, media went berserk. It's like terrorism and stuff, and evil, and it kind of is. Audio?
Sorry, an intrepid reporter for America's third dumbest paper has found a slightly disturbing item for sale on eBay. Former locksmith Daniel Ferraris sold the undercover reporter a New York City fireman's key ring for $150. The keys give the owner the ability to control elevators, circuit breakers, subway entrances, and traffic lights all over the city. They essentially become the key maker from the Matrix Reloaded.
I kind of know where this is going. So they print the pictures. But actually, they did think a bit, just a tiny. They contacted the locksmith. And asked the locksmith, well, I think it was a key duplication service, but he called himself a locksmith. And they asked him, is it any problem if we print those pictures? And the locksmith was like, I never cut keys for a picture. Well, can't be done. So let's run the article with 3 straight-on pictures, white background, visible, I mean, totally good. And of course, the way the media works, this story gets picked up by other outlets. And they run the same pictures and put more info in there. So the left one, it opens street lamp boxes, that's cool. And you can circuit breakers, so you can basically darken the city. The second one, fire elevator keys. It used to work at, where is it?
Empire
big
State
buildings. Sorry?
Empire State Building.
Empire State, which is cool. I mean, you get, yeah, what you can do, what you shouldn't do, what the problem is. Traffic lights, New York, all the traffic lights, everything green, everything red, everything not working. Chaos. There's a fireman service key which opens, oh, you've seen that one before. So basically the price went up because it used to be 27, and if you buy 5, it's 150. Inflation, you know. And there's a fire alarm box, so you can set the alarm. building on. And you shouldn't really show those keys in public, because now the world has them. It's a problem. Not showing keys in public. Public can be quite small. There's a hackerspace in Amsterdam. At some point they got a new building, and they were like, new building, great, bigger, better, cool. We like this place. And one of our residential trolls, you see him right there, weird suit. And he convinced a member of Tech Inc., that's the hackerspace, and it was like, so you got a new lock to your hackerspace? Are you sure that's a good lock? Because we have a lock picker in our group, and he can take a look at the keys and figure out if it's a good one. So he sent this picture. And we being a hackerspace, let's see what we can do. So, well, you see this picture, and you can basically draw the shape of the, oops, sorry. You can draw the shape of that key, which is what we did. And then we fed it in our newest machine that we have, which happens to be a laser cutter. Good thing it wasn't a coffee maker. And then, of course, well, a key reappears, well, a key shape. So we put some plastic thingy on there. Wiggle. First we label it, because well, we have a ton of those keys, of course, so we have to know which is which. So let's just label in scratchy, and now it should burn. Yeah, the fumes are not that healthy. It's a video. What's this Comic Sans?
Yes. Nobody specified the fault.
No, nobody specified the fault. So birdie. And then you end up with something, it's not a key, it's a key shape. So it will not fit in the lock. I mean, if the keyway is that wide, then maybe, but so that's not going to fit. But the shape is the correct key shape. So if you put that on a key duplicator, you'll get a key, a working key, we assume. And because we are a hackerspace, and which is all open source and share, we put this on a public wiki, of course. Which not everybody agrees with. Which, of course, they're right. So we instead of blurring the picture, we decided to donate a new lock to them. And 90 copies or something like that?
50 at first.
50 at first.
We kept the 3 originals.
Yeah, and then they were like, well, now we have to do lock, so you can't get in our building anymore. And I was like, who supplied those locks? But then I became a member and even got a discount because they didn't need to give me a key. So it's all good fun. We love it today, seriously. Okay, close to home. No, actually not close to home. This is Belgium. In Belgium, at some point the rumor occurred that all the traffic speed cams were keyed alive. And not just that for some weird reason, which I don't get, you could not just buy the keys, you could buy the locks. I was like, huh? So I don't get that story. I don't really care. I just want to see, we want to try, can we actually grab enough info of moving pictures to make working keys?
Ons komen regelmatig wel e-mails van mensen die een en ander bewegen, eigenaardige e-mails, maar ook opmerkelijke, zoals deze e-mail die we gekregen hebben. En dat gaat eigenlijk over iemand die beweert dat je heel eenvoudig met een sleuteltje de flitspalen open krijgt. Dus stel je voor, je wordt geflitst, je hebt een sleuteltje, en leef je uit op de flitspaal of op de besturing van die paal. En dat je ook die slotjes heel gemakkelijk kan kopen. Ik onderzoek dat even, we zijn in Brussel en we beginnen natuurlijk bij de slotenmaker. Sleuteltjes en een cilinderslotje. Volgens de mailschrijver zit dit in de flitspaal. Dan kan ik met die sleuteltjes de flitspaal openen. En hoeveel heeft dat gekost? Dat heeft €14,23 gekost. Als dit werkt voor €14,23, dat is opmerkelijk goedkoper dan een boete van 4. Dit is hij dan, deze paal. Er zijn in Vlaanderen heel wat acties geweest om deze flitspalen uit te schakelen. Men heeft erop geschoten, men heeft ze in brand gestoken, men heeft ze zelfs afgekleefd. Maar eigenlijk is dat volgens onze mailschrijver allemaal niet nodig. Want het geheim van deze paal zit in deze kast. Deze robuuste kast is de aansturing, de sturing, elektronica, de stroom van die flipspaal. Dit sleuteltje. Dat je daar deze combinatie onschadelijk mee kan maken. Ja, het klepje gaat hier open. De sleutel past. De deur gaat open. Je kan hem zelfs gewoon handmatig een auto maken.
It's not the original subtitle.
Volledig nieuw. Dit is vraaggeroepend. Dit kan.
That's a nice Windows background. So we managed to lift a couple of stills from that video. This one, it's not totally clear, but probably enough. That's even better. That's nice. So if you look at the head of that key, it's a BKS, which is cool because that has no depth. So you know what the possible depths are of your cut, and you know which sizes and everything. We kind of guesstimate the keyway because, well, we can look at it and, well, it looks like a standard BK one. So we tried that, and we kind of started looking at is this enough? And we came up with this picture. This is the key we made at Eindhoven. We cut this key. So we presumed this is the key to all the Belgian speakers. But then we have a problem, because I kind of want to check that. But there were rules, like we said in the introduction. You're not allowed to pick a lock that's not yours, or that you don't have explicit permission from the actual owner to pick. Technically this is not picking, but that's kind of is. So I'm pretty sure we won't get permission to actually try this from the actual owner. So we sourced a speaker, and this is the key. It opens all the Belgian speakers, and maybe we shouldn't show...
Click.
Okay. So having a key, having a visual side of a key for enough time to take a picture or a video seems to be enough to make a key from, or a copy from it. But having actual possession of that key for a couple of seconds, that's the holy grail, because then you can do all sorts of stuff. There are some protections, some security in place to block that. One of the main protections is a restricted key profile. That means that the piece of metal that you stick in your lock has a weird shape. And that shape can be protected by copyright. So you're not allowed to do that, or you get copyright police on your outfit, and then, well, you can't do that. So if nobody's allowed to make that exact key, you can't buy it because it doesn't allow. It doesn't exist except for the supplier. And the official supplier will go like, why do you need that lock? Why do you need that key? So that's not going to happen. So restricted key profile, well, basically it's a piece of metal, right? So, and we know how to copy keys. You just get a feeler there and a cutter there, and it'll cut that. This machine is an easy entry. It's for a hobbyist, it's quite expensive. It's about $5 grand. And what this one does, it doesn't duplicate the cuts of your key, but the other side. So it takes slugs of brass, which you can buy in this configuration. There's nice money in there because you like friendly keys. And what it does, it instead of on this side, instead of that side, these cuts, it feels that one, and it just nails those one out. This is more close up. So it actually makes a blank key, which of course then you can put in a normal key duplicator and have that key. But there are also keys that don't even use this technique, so they have turning thingies and stuff like that. But then there are other methods to to duplicate stuff if you only have a split second possession of that key. Well, not a split second, but let's say a minute of that key. Tin soldiers. Yes. If you take a key and put it in a soft material, it will leave a mark. If you choose your material right and time it with bit good, do composite stuff or whatever, you can make a mold that way. And even with that's an alloy, it's quite hard to do. But you can, if you have a mold and just put some tin in there, that'll be a shitty key. Shitty as in it won't be sturdy, but you don't need that much sturdiness to actually turn your key. There are sets sold, and it's quite James Bondy because this one works with clay. So you put a clay in there, and you put some clay in a mold and press your key in there, and you take it out. And that's only, I don't know, 20 minutes, 20 seconds if you prepare it correctly. And then you have all the time in the world to, from that mold, produce a working key. That works, even on weird shaped keys. Because at the top that's the original, at the bottom that's the copy. And if your mold is good, and even if you fuck this up, you can retry because you have a working mold. You can retry because you can remelt that copy. That's kind of cool. So that works on quite nifty keys. And if the tolerances of your key and of your lock are better, then you need well, better clay. And probably you will not use clay at quite early stage of the process. So you need some two-component thingy. The stuff that your dentist used to make impressions from your teeth, that's a two-component thingy. That's a two-component gel, something that hardens quite quickly. It's perfect for this, but it's quite expensive. So befriend a dentist. It's a pro tip. Okay. So showing keys in public is a bad idea, or leaving them for people to do stuff with. This is the ID of Rob Gronkheim, and people from the Netherlands know this guy probably way beyond those borders. This is the Dutch, well, I think that he's the best known hacker in the Netherlands. Founder of Access for All, did some, well, he did a ton of stuff. Look him up if you're not familiar with this guy. He's a hacker. He probably knows security, right? Let's take a look.
We zijn op het station Deze Partij in Amsterdam, en we gaan hier een beetje rondlopen om te laten zien wat wij hier in de jaren 90 hebben uitgesproken. En wij liepen hier in de jaren 90, begin jaren 90 liepen we hier rond en we hadden door allerlei toeval ontstaan een sleutel in handen waarmee we in het metrosysteem in konden. De sleutel kostte letterlijk overal. En in dit geval dat onder dit station alle interessante dingen liggen. Schuilbunkers, vreselijk spannend, zeker in die tijd vonden we het geweldig. Iedereen ook keurig dicht en we gaan niet door. Gewend zijn dat de lift heen gaat. Gewoon door naar beneden. Dan komen we veel dieper. Ja, kijk eens, het is dicht. Geweldig. Fantastisch.
And then you have hackers walking around in your super secret nuclear facility. That's a bunker. But still, I mean, it's supposed to be a secret. We've seen this still. What's wrong with this picture?
Nothing.
It's a bit out of focus. It's out of scale. There's no chance in hell.
It's a locker key.
That's a locker key. That's correct. That's not the actual key. That's not the key.
Just that.
But you didn't know that when you looked at the clip. The tension was still there.
Ik heb het zo even gehad.
Some people didn't know that. I mean, the tension was still there. It took nothing away from the story. You could still tell that story. Just show a different key. So it's perfect security. It's a bit obscure, but who cares? This works. They still ran the story, they still have their shot. Perfect. So, perfect security. I really like that. Other options are for not showing a key. This is a key, I forgot the name, key port, I believe. And that's a company in the US that sells basically a shell that you can put your keys in and it will slide out. So if you're not using your keys, you just see a metal box with nothing sticking out, so you can't take pictures. At some point you have to take it out, otherwise it won't work. That's a neat idea. And what they do, so there you see the bare metal of it, the bare metal of it. And so what they do, they produce a blank that you can take to your own locksmith, he can make the copies. But you need that blank, so the keyway has to fit. And there they went wrong, because they just send us a picture of the key, all of them. Please label them which is which. And, well, the fine print does say, for added security, so even more secure, cover the tip of the cups of the key, but I mean, that shouldn't be added security. You're supplying, as a company, you're supplying a service that adds security. That's what they sell. They sell a thing that makes it harder to take pictures of your key. So that is added security. You shouldn't ask extra stuff to do this. So at least it shouldn't be fine print. It should be the procedure to make pictures. Make sure we can't see your cuts, right? Even our users start to understand that this is a bad idea, right? Well, some of them start to grasp the idea that this might be less than optimal.
When did you take this picture?
That's quite a long time ago.
I changed this last week.
Well,
For him.
Not when I took that picture. So why would it be a good idea to celebrate the fact that you got a new house and a new key that goes with it?
Yeah.
And dump that on Twitter. So there's a guy who mailed me last week. He said, I started this yep, there he is. Hi, Dean. And he started the website Please Break In. Please break. We live in India. And he basically started looking at Twitter pictures of people that do this. And, well, you just, so you have the picture of the front door mostly, and you know their Twitter feed. So for some people it's quite easy to figure out where they actually live from their Twitter feed.
The keys have geodata in them.
Metadata.
I took a... Does this work? Yeah, that works. No, it doesn't.
Internet.
Connect. Okay, hold on a second.
Right.
Okay. No, okay, let's
It's living up to our expectations.
yeah, nothing, yeah. It's a technical conference, that's what it. So actually there are some pictures of not just the key, but this is what my house looked like. And I kind of live in this area, so I'm pretty sure this one Google Street View foo.
This picture is taken at location.
Yeah, yeah, well, he blurs that out, but Twitter doesn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you click through, you get to the dirty bits. And it, come on guys, this is wrong. And I think the learning curve of actually learning that this is wrong shouldn't be just steep because they robbed your house. I mean, a bit earlier would be more optimum. And like I said before, that picture we took of the book with the keys on, that was from far, far away. But at the moment, cameras are everywhere. I mean, most of you have a mobile phone, and most of those have pretty high-def cameras on them. And, well, there's one. I mean, you can snap pictures with it, but even video, we saw from video, it works. So maybe if you use your key, it's the same as punching in your PIN code. I mean, if you put your PIN code, I mean, you're taught to basically shield that a bit so nobody else can see it. That's basically what you should do with keys also. Because there's cameras everywhere. I mean, if you look at London, I mean, I'm not even talking about handhelds, but I mean, they're everywhere. And then there's Google Glass. So everybody who's walking around. Well, now you see it every now and then, and you might kick them for it, but well, in a couple of years, everybody will have something like that, or contact lenses will do the same, so you can't even see it. So, it's a problem. Okay, one more fail and I'll let you guys go. The DJ will come in shortly. This is a bad man. I know that for a fact because he's a killer. I know that for a fact because he's a convicted killer. He went to jail for killing people. And he walked out. Because the design of the master key of the prison system, the master key, mind you, was printed on front of the prisoner's information handbook. A copy of that particular book was given to all inmates upon arrival of that prison. So, security. Security can be hard, security can be easy. Like I say. So security can be hard, security can be easy, but it's definitely quite easy to fuck it up. I'll be taking questions now. Thank you. Woo! There you go. If there's any questions, I'm pretty sure, I believe we have a mobile mic thingy. I'm still here.
Do you like the smoke?
I have no idea if anybody raises his hand now for a question. Do we have questions? There is. Could somebody throw a mobile mic there? Okay.
When we find a mic.
There's a mic.
It's not working.
Can you please stop smoking inside, please?
Yeah, I'm not supposed to.
Beeld.
Hiya.
Hello. No idea where, who, why.
Yeah, do you foresee key technology changing in a way that will make these attacks more difficult, and if so, how?
Oh, that technology has changed already. There are several techniques that a lock manufacturer can use to, well, not render these techniques impossible, but make them way, way more difficult than they are now. But you only see those in the higher segment, which means more expensive, which mostly means companies. So in a residential area, like you and me, well not me because I'm a lock nerd, I have a stupid expensive lock.
I know what locks you have.
Of course you do. I have an Abloy Protec. I think it's that secure. And more people have that. So that's a decent lock, but that's expensive. So yeah, I mean, you can have moving elements in your key, some other weird stuff, and a lot of that is not really snake oil, but it's copyright protection. So, but some of them actually work and will make this technique, well, not obsolete, but infinitely more harder. And so yeah, lock manufacturers know what to do against it, but it's a matter of cost for the consumer. There's a question up here in front.
From an orange.
Here's Mike.
Hello. Hi. Question. You showed a lot of physical keys.
Yes.
But isn't the future a digital key?
It could be.
Bluetooth locks.
Bluetooth locks, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? you're on an IT conference security thingy, you could probably do the math. Well, yeah, I mean, you see a lot of lock manufacturers, like in IT, we have a system, and the system works, and oh fuck, security, let's bolt that on. And you see that happening in the physical world also. So you see normal keys, normal-ish, and they bolt some RFID thingy on, which of course we know is super secure. And, well, but then again, if you have a lock at a facility that you care about, and you clearly do, otherwise there would be a lock on there, how do you want it to fail? Do you want it to fail open or fail close? Well, if there's burglaries out, if there's a burglar and the system goes down, fail close. Yeah, but if the building's on fire and the bench doesn't work anymore, I think, yes, IT, building, electrical systems, whatever, batteries, yeah, it could be cool. It's definitely cool. But is it secure? And not just security in a security sense, but in a safety sense. I work at a company who does electricity and high voltage stuff. Tiny electronics don't play well in that environment. So yeah, we have batches and well, RFID type of things, but the official back door that, well, not the back door, but there's always a way to have a physical key to get in. Even for a firefighter or whatever, or the system goes totally black, you can still get in. So I think there will always be a need for actual physical keys without any pure mechanical keys without any electronic interference. And if you need extra layer of protection, well, I would say cameras or people with guns, dogs, whatever, do it back into the physical realm. That's my opinion, but I'm a lock nerd, so I like locks. Any more questions? There's a question over there. I see a hand in the phone. There's also one over there. So no idea what this phone goes first, but we'll get there.
Very short distances, Jos.
Okay.
Well, just thinking of a mechanical key.
Yeah.
And is it possible, from a manufacturing point of view, it should, as far as I can think, be possible to make a cylindrical or a hollow section key with the elements on the inside?
Yes, they exist. They're stupid expensive.
They might be expensive, but why are they? It should be fairly simple to make a key. How do you make the mechanism that engages with the key? What's the actual physics in terms of the moving part of the lock?
Actually, the guy who handed you the microphone is going to answer that question.
Hello.
Outside.
Anything, lock technology, anything is possible. It's all to do with costs. I'm a working locksmith and I've struggled to get anyone to pay more than 25 quid for a lock. And so a very common, a very well-known lock, but not very well used, known to lock geeks, is a lock called a Brahma. It's a cylindrical lock and it has wafers that move from the outside. Painted in 1800 odd, been going on for about 200 years, but they're maybe 300-400 quid to fit. They're nigh on impossible to sight read because if you get fluff in the end of them, they don't work. So they come with a cover. So you can't really sight read them. If you did sight read them, who do you know is going to make you a Brahma key other than the Brahma factory or Nigel, whatever I do, will make you one. And they've been going hundreds of years. The patents are old, and you can, if you're interested, look up Brahma, B-R-A-M-A-H, and all the information you need there.
Even if you look at a more common, well, the newer system, if you look at Dome System D, well, you guys don't know it, but it's an evil-looking lock. Well, actually, it's an evil-looking key. It's basically two keys fused together. So it's what?
Like the bi-lock and the bi-lock.
Well, yeah, but the problem with that lock, it's technically beautiful. It's a bitch to pick. It's not unpickable, which is basically no lock. But it's quite hard to pick. But manufacturing that key, if you need a duplication, it could only be made at the factory at Dome. They had to cut a piece of metal at both sides, then bend it to a key shape, to their key shape, which they did. But it was that expensive that the replacement key was, I don't know, 40, 50 euros. And like you heard Warren, that's about double the price people will pay for their lock, let alone their key. So yeah, I mean, if you want quality, that's going to cost you. And of course, it's all a matter of what is your risk profile. If this is your server room, you probably don't want to go like, that's 20 euros more, let's not. If it's your business, probably not. And it also depends where you live, of course. I mean, if it's the high crime area, whatever. So it's all risk profile. There was a question over there. Hold on a second for the microphone.
Just an anecdote. The thing about making a physical copy of the key by impression on material was done in the cop show called The Sweeney in the mid-70s using cuttlefish, which is given to budgies to sharpen their beaks against.
I'm kind of known with that method, yeah.
I know, but it's like, goes back to at least the mid-70s in a TV show. So anyway, the second question, how many bits of information in a typical key?
The typical, how many bits of info? Warren, you know that?
Yeah.
Because I didn't do the math there, but not that much.
As a small aside, I recently worked for a company in London doing this all day long, just making keys and photographs. And so standard key is 5-pin or possibly 6-pin. So standard Yale, maybe you're only going to see 7 or maybe 8 heights at most 6 pins, so 6 to the 6.
6 to the power of
6, 8, 9. You're never going to see more than 9.
Yeah, so it's not very much. But that's not that big of a problem. Because if you, because I don't know where you live. Because, I mean, if everybody would have the same brand and type of lock, there's a, that's the birthday attack basically. There will be 2 people who have the same key. But, sorry? Still didn't know.
I see what you mean. He said from an image processing point of view. So looking at the image, and it's very, very simple.
Oh yeah, because there are only a finite number of depths. I believe my time is about up. Maybe we have time for one more, if there is one more. And we're done. Very good.
Well, I'll get one more question as well.
One question. We'll take one front row, Warren. Oh, there's 2.
Okay, so as a lock nerd, how do you secure your own home? Just curious.
How I secure my own home?
Show the key. And can you show the pictures?
I'm going to show the key.
Don't tell him,
If a burglar would attack my home, and it happened before, I'm not saying they can't get in. But it probably will not go through my lock, because, well, it's way easier to make a new door for that matter, or just nail through that door, or whatever. So
can I add a bit for you, Jos? Last year at LockCon, I returned from LockCon to find that my house had been burgled.
He's a locksmith.
As a small aside, in my house was maybe £30,000 or more in auto lock gear for VW and Audi Group and some other car manufacturers.
Yeah.
And so my house was broken in, the CCTV was taken, the remote monitoring the CCTV was taken out, roughly 90 seconds to get to my back door, take the back door out, take the CCTV and all the locks, and that was a team of locksmiths who broke into my house.
Okay.
And my house is quite secure. If they want it, they will get it.
Yeah.
Those tools are only available from my home, and that's where they took them from.
It is a real problem. Whatever you have. We have one more question in front row, the gentleman over there, and then we're calling a wrap.
Aren't there still far more people who have the skill to pick a lock than the ability to make a key from a picture?
I don't know. Because, I mean, to be a lockpicker takes training and skill. And this is handicraft. So it's total, it is. I mean, it's taken, I mean, if you can work with tin soldiers, you can do this. And it's Of course, if you know what a key is supposed to look like, but hello Google, it helps. So I think it's a different skill set. So I don't know what the numbers do. I think if people will try this, then it's way easier. I need to get out. Good one.
The thing is, just for a lockpick, you have to take the lockpick to there. So if only you can pick that lock, you've got to be able to where the lock is. Whereas if you can make the key from the photograph, you can say the key worldwide. Nobody skilled needs to do that.
Yeah. I mean, with this technique, you end up with a working key. I can give to other people. And yeah, we're kind of done. Thank you.
Yeah!